Let's go. Let's get into it.
Yay.
Shay, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Yes, thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. I'm super excited to have you on for a few different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
One, your positive attitude, which
Thank you.
You're just bubbly and sweet and fun.
Aw,
so
thank you so much.
I love that.
So are you. I think that's why we're like kindred spirits. Yeah.
Vibes.
Yeah.
Just all
vibes.
the vibes.
Yeah.
Kind of getting into it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to give everyone just a quick little backstory of how we met.
Okay.
And that was me going into Orangetheory for a trial class. My really good friend, shout out to Laura, dragged me into it. I needed, in that moment, I was going in just for a trial class, but I really wanted to do something that keeps me in motion and just like physically and mentally like kept me moving.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course I went on your birthday.
The most hilarious story.
Like, on your birthday, and again, just positive, fun energy. I was absolutely aching after that class. And you joked, you were like, it's my birthday, so sign up.
Yes, literally, I bullied you. I bullied you into signing up. I was like, my birthday gift is you signing up. And you were like, okay.
I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. But I really did it because I was just like, again, it was like something so fun, but I think it was a positive experience being able to have my first class with the head coach.
Yeah, aw.
Kind of awesome.
Yeah.
So for me, it's kind of now diving into your journey and how you got to be in head coach of Orangetheory. I know you just fact checked me. You became the head coach in April 2023.
Yes, correct.
And you did an announcement on social media.
I did?
You sure did. I
wrote
did
a
some
novel.
digging. And you talked about how movement has always reminded you of your power. And I love that. And I thought this would be a great opportunity for you to kind of jump in and tell me, when did you make that connection?
Yeah. So I feel really, really fortunate. I made that connection very early. I grew up dancing. My grandma was a dancer. So like the minute I was old enough to like walk, they were like, you're going into dance class.
Yeah.
And I just took to it. I loved it immediately. And so it was always inherent for me that I felt most myself when I was moving. And if I ever needed to come back to myself, if I ever needed to find my confidence, like that was always something that I had. So I feel really lucky that it almost feels like I was born with it in a sense. And I think once I got older and I got into fitness, I realized not everyone has that outlet. Not everyone grew up with that, or maybe they did grow up with it and they lost it. And it can feel really intimidating to make that connection again as an adult. And that's where I found like what I could bring in a unique way to that space, because I understood the value of it and I really wanted to help people make that connection. Like that was like my pillar and like my purpose. And I was like, this is what I know I can do really well, different from other people. So, yeah.
How old were you
when I started
dance?
They put me in dance class at like 3.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know, it's wild.
That's really, really wild.
Yeah.
And you're like from 3 years old, because I know like a lot of our memories also, it starts developing when you're 5 and onwards. Maybe it might be a little sooner. I have to fact check myself on that.
We'll Google it later.
But like at 3, were you already like...
So it's so interesting you say when you start to remember things, because at 3, I don't remember. I like see pictures and I'm like, okay, I believe that's me. When I was 5, my parents took me to my first Broadway show. And it was like, I have 2 siblings, so, you know, and we're all pretty close in age, which is fun, but it's rare that you get your parents like on your own ever when you're like the middle child. So I remember my parents took me for my birthday. They were like, we're going to take you into the city to see a show. I don't know what, like they just sensed that I would like it. I don't really know why that was like a choice that they made. And they didn't get tickets ahead of time. And they were going to take me to see Beauty and the Beast. It was sold out, like a whole thing. They were like, we'll take her to see the most popular show on Broadway and not get tickets like ahead of time. And it's shocking that it sold out. So the only tickets available were to the show called Showboat, which is like a really old classical musical that had been running on Broadway. And my parents were like, she's 5. Like, I don't know if she's going to sit through it, but like, let's try it. And this is like my earliest memory. I remember sitting in the mezzanine And one of the songs in Showboat is called Old Man River, and it's a man literally sitting on stage like by himself. There's just like a spotlight on him sitting on like a box singing the song. And I remember watching that, and I remember just seeing the whole show and the dancing and the singing, and I remember thinking like, I want to do that. Like that's what I want to do. And that's when it clicked. And then it was like over for me. Like it was that forever.
That is insane.
Yeah.
And also like remarkable. Did your parents kind of like from 5, you're already in dance, you already made this connection with potentially being on Broadway. Did you pursue that?
I did. So I did Just Dance for a really long time. Because I loved it, because I knew that's what I kind of wanted to do. I think my parents are, but neither one of them are like super artsy or like creative. So they were very rational in the sense that like I was obviously very vocal about, I want to do this. And they were like, okay, like let's have you be a normal child too and like try other things. And like, you know what I mean? So they encouraged me to pursue dance. I think I got into theater like on and off probably when I was like 8 to 10. I started doing like theater camps, and then I really got involved in theater and singing probably in high school, because that's when I was like, no, this is like actually what I want to do. My parents were like, okay, well, she's old enough to like actually decide that now. Yeah. So now we're gonna like, you know, take it seriously.
Wait, did you sing too?
Yes. Yeah.
Wait,
so I played piano, I sang, and I danced, and then I went to school for musical theater. So I did all of those things like in college.
That's wild.
Yeah,
what
it's
other
crazy.
fun facts are you hiding?
I think that's it for now. But if more come up, I'll let you know. There's lots of little things.
That is wild. Because here I am. I'm just like, Shay, head coach of Orangetheory, badass. I knew that you had a little bit of dance background, but not to that extent.
Yeah.
Where you're like really like going.
Yeah.
For it, which is absolutely cool. And remarkable.
Thank you.
Just for funsies, what were some of the other things that your parents tried?
Oh my God, it's
put you
hilarious.
into?
Any sport, which is so funny because now people tell me like I like run half marathons. I'm a fitness instructor, and they're like, you're so athletic. And like that could not have been farther from the truth when I was younger, which is why I tell people, especially, I think I said this to you, like I was like, I promise like you can run this far. Like I promise you can do this, because like if I can do it, you can do it. They put me in soccer, and I was like literally like picking the flowers in the field, like had no interest. I was like more concerned about like the bow I was gonna wear and like what like my outfit was gonna look like than playing soccer. I played softball, didn't have hand-eye coordination, so like that didn't go well. What else did I do? I think those were the two. I think they like were like, just try this, and I was just so miserable, both of them, that they were like, okay, we tried. Like she's found her thing, and like that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Back to Broadway.
Yeah. Back to the dance studio. Yeah.
Wild, which is also kind of funny. So, did you ever end up getting to see Beauty and the Beast?
You know, it's so funny. I did. I got to see it twice. Like I saw it when I was younger, like probably, I don't know. I remember being in elementary school, and then I saw it again in high school. It was like closing, I think my senior year of high school. So I like went to go see it. And then my last job that I worked as like a dancer, as a professional, like in that field before I made the full switch, was I worked on Beauty and the Beast, which is so crazy, so full circle and so crazy.
That's so, yeah. That's
so
wild.
It's been a very like kind of, I don't know, serendipitous show. And I think that also is something that led me to be like, okay, this feels like time to step away. Like I was like, it all just kind of feels right. So yes, I did get to see it.
You got to see it
and do it kind of. Yeah.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Does any part of you, like right now, because you're in this coaching field, miss dancing?
I always say this to people. I want to start by saying like it is one of the hardest careers to succeed in. It is so tough. It is so unstable. So anyone who leaves the business, I have total respect for. I obviously understand why I did the same thing. Anyone who's still doing it, I have a ton of respect for, because I know what it takes to stay in it. For me, I couldn't do the business of it anymore. The instability of it, the feeling like there's just so little control that you have, and that's just what it is. And I think that I had done it for so long that it was starting to impede on like my ability to love dance. So to answer your question, I miss dancing. I miss it a lot. I miss it every day. And one of my goals for I think the new year is to like, I can go take a dance class. You know what I mean? Like I can do it. I don't miss the business of it. I don't miss doing it as a career. And that's how I knew it was time for me to kind of make the pivot. Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about your transition out of dance into fitness. did you end up doing a class at Orange, or were you like, I'm gonna go to the gym, and then like fell into it? Like, what was your journey?
It was Orangetheory from the beginning. So I don't know if you've ever taken class at the other Astoria location, but Coach Julia is the head coach over there. She's my best friend. We were on tour together. We did the ELF tour in like 2018, and she had taken Orangetheory. Like, she was a member, I think, in Long Island. And when we were on tour, she was like, come and do this thing with me. They have them in all these cities because there's Orangetheory literally everywhere. Yeah. And she was like, I think you'll really like it. I think it'll be good for us to have something to do like outside of the show, like whatever. So she took me to my first class and I was like, oh my God, I love this. Like, this is so fun. I loved, similar to you, like the vibes were so good. Yeah. I liked that it was so educational. I liked that it was so convenient. And so that's kind of how it started for me. And then when I was back in the city after that show, you always need like a side job as like a performer. So that I started working front desk at one of the Orangetheories in Manhattan. And I was working there, I was auditioning, I was like leaving sometimes to do shows, like whatever. And then COVID hit. And that was really the catalyst for me, I think. I had always, I loved teaching. I taught dance a lot growing up. I could always see myself being a fitness instructor, but at the time I was like, I don't have time to start another career right now. I got a lot happening. And so then COVID happened and theater was shut down and I had all the time because like it was just so unstable. No one knew what was going to happen. It was completely shut down. And so I decided to kind of use that time to get certified in personal training and then get Orangetheory certified. And that was really when I started to kind of make the shift. I coached at an Orangetheory in Manhattan for a really brief time, and then Julia brought me over to Astoria, and then I've just been here ever since. And I've loved it. But I think probably for the first year or so that I was coaching in Astoria, I was doing both, and I was very adamant about that. And I think I wasn't ready to admit to myself that like it was time to move on. So I was like, I started part-time, which is like half of a normal class schedule. I was still auditioning. I was kind of doing both. I was like, I'm happy with this. This is what I want. I want to be able to like ideally go to a show, do a show, and like coach on my days off. Like, I loved both. And then when just gradually, I think fell in love with coaching and the members and the community. And when the opportunity came up to help open Ditmars, and they were like, you know, we want you to help us open this. We want you to be head coach. I was like, okay, like if I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to be all in because I don't do anything halfway. And I was like, I'm not going to still be performing if I can't put all of my energy into like one career. And so that's when I really sat down with myself and I was like, I feel like it feels right to I wanted to kind of leave on my terms. I wanted it to be my decision. I didn't want it to be like, oh, I haven't worked in theater in like 3 years, so I guess it's time to like hang it up. Yeah. Like, I wanted it to be a choice that I made for myself, and it very much felt that way. And so I kind of was just like, and again, like I say this to everyone too about leaving theater, like it's not going anywhere. I could conceivably go back to it if I really wanted to. And I think that's what I told myself at the time. I don't think I will, but like, I was like, it's like a security blanket kind of. And I just think that being given an opportunity to start a community from scratch and like really do something I'd never done before felt really exciting to me. And I don't think any other career path had ever felt that way other than theater. So that to me was a really big sign of like, okay, like this could really be something that I could shift to and make this my full-time thing. Yeah. Yeah.
There's like a couple things there.
Yeah.
It's just one, COVID was like, we were in such uncertain times.
Oh my gosh, yes, especially here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not knowing exactly, okay, where am I going to land?
Mm-hmm.
So kind of being able to just go all in, taking that leap and believing in yourself.
Yeah.
Was there any part of you that was like, oh my God, did I make a mistake here?
In terms of being like, I'm
completely making the shift of going from dance
over to theater. Yeah. You know what? No, but I think that it's really unique because I always say this, like, everything is easier than theater. Like, it is just so tough that like, I think that I hear a lot of people talk about leaving like a corporate 9-to-5 and going to fitness, and like you are taking a big leap. But I was coming from such instability anyway that honestly, I think part of why it felt so right for me is that I was really craving stability, and I was craving, routine and knowing where I was going to land and working at one place and not having to like, even with theater too, like you could have a job for 6 months and then you don't have a job and you don't know where you're going to land. And I think that is what also got really old for me. Mm-hmm. And so for me, I all of the things that maybe would have made someone be like, oh, am I making the right choice? Like, fitness kind of answered those questions for me. And so I think I was lucky in that sense that it made the decision a little bit easier. I definitely think the reason why, like, it was, when I say gradual, like probably over a period of like a year and a half to 2 years, that I was like kind of playing myself and being like, I'm doing both. But like, I really wasn't.
Yeah.
I just wasn't really ready to be like, I'm not performing anymore. Like, it didn't feel right to close the door until it did.
Yeah.
And I think if I had maybe forced myself to make that decision before I was ready, then I maybe would have felt, am I making the right decision? Like, am I going to have regrets? But I try really hard to always be very honest with myself and really think about moves before I make them. Eventually you have to just kind of take the leap. But I think that like it definitely is a practice in listening to your intuition and listening to yourself and being like, your gut knows like when it's time.
Your gut knows.
It always knows.
It always
In so
knows.
many ways. And so I think anytime you follow that, you build trust in yourself. And then in any other situation where you have to listen to your gut, no matter what it is, you're like, okay, I've done this before. Like, I can do it again. So, yeah.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
And I think even for myself, for me, my big leap was jumping into real estate full time.
Yeah.
And that was really, really
Probably
scary.
so scary.
It was so scary. I was just like, wait, what am I doing here? But I remember when I started, it was kind of the same thing. I was just like, okay, I'm going to do this
It's a
part-time.
side thing.
It's
Yeah.
a side thing. It's fine. The biggest difference between you and I, you actually went for it at the right time.
Yeah.
Versus me, like it took me a little bit longer, but I'm here, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
and everyone
so
goes at their
happy
own
that I'm doing
pace.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And just like, again, following your gut.
Exactly.
I know, kind of bringing it around to community, because you mentioned community.
Yeah.
And I know the Orange Theory, I've only been there for 6 months, but I definitely feel part of the community.
Good.
And I see what you guys are doing there as well.
Yeah.
Of even coming in and for the front desk to know your name and feeling excited.
Yeah.
Like, I could have like a very like long day. I feel exhausted, and the minute like I get through the front door,
That's right, you walk up the
they're
stairs.
like, hey Teresa, how are you doing? I was just like,
Yeah.
oh my god, great.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they're the best.
Yeah.
They're the best.
I'm like, now I'm like, I'm ready for it. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of, again, going into people that are taking your classes and they're coming in and, you don't know what mood they might be in, or maybe I feel like I'm always excited.
You are. You bring the best energy always. And I quickly, like, I always tell people this, like, that we need that too.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you get back what you give in, but like when other people are coming in with good energy, like it helps so much. And you always bring that. You really do.
I try.
You do.
I try. But what's kind of your way if you do have like a class or a day where it might not be the best crowd?
Yeah.
Like, how do you keep yourself motivated to keep going and to still teach the best class and bring the best energy?
Yeah. I think that my background in theater has helped a lot with this, just in terms of having the stamina in terms of like energy, because it's a very energetically demanding job. And so I have a standard for myself, just for me, that I don't go below. It's like if you're looking at like a percentage where, everyone's human, people have bad days. I sometimes have bad days, and I'm like, what do I have to give today? And like my commitment to myself is like, I'm never going to drop below like 80%. You know what I mean? And so most days it's not hard to give everything I have because you're getting so much back from other people. I think that if it's a day, a lot is happening outside of the studio, people sometimes bring that in with them. Like I am very sensitive to like vibes and like people's energy. I think in those times I remind myself that like you said, you never know what somebody is going through, and they need that consistency of like positive energy. And so in a way, like, I don't have the luxury of like being affected by that. Like, it's part of my job to bring the same energy that I always bring, regardless of who's in the room. That's what I believe anyway, because I've had times where I've had members that you know, I think hate me, or I'm like, oh my God, this person's having such a bad day, or like whatever, just because people are going, like, they come to the gym for such different reasons. And for a lot of people, it can be really personal. And I've had times where I'm like, oh, I don't know about this person, like whatever. And then they'll come up to me after class and be like, I really needed this today. I had a really bad day. And you're always so positive. And I really knew that I was going to get that when I came to this class. And so thank you so much. And like, if they didn't say that to me, I would have thought that that person was just in the corner, like hating life, like hating everything. And so I've had that happen enough that I'm like, the energy and maybe what somebody is giving out often has nothing to do with you. And so if I can continue to like be positive, then that's going to make someone's day. It's going to make the energy better. I think that like, I read a quote once, I think it was Joan Rivers, that was like, I was listening to another podcast with Chelsea Handler, and she was saying that like, something about, I have to like fact check it, I'll text it to you, but it was like, don't be affected by the energy that is in the room, like bring energy into the room and change it and like make it better. And so I think that that for me is something that I think is part of my job, and that's what I try to kind of do when the vibes feel off or when motivation feels low. So
I absolutely love that. Because I think for myself personally, I go to Orange when you're teaching.
I love that.
I was just like, I know it's gonna be a good class. I know it's gonna be a vibe. I do like the other coaches there too, but of course I have my favorite. And for me, like, I don't like physical activities. So
there are so many times where I'm like, pick up the heavier weight, and you're like, oh, but you do it. Now you do it.
And now I do it. And I have seen like little progress.
Good.
In just going for the last 6 months. Like, I think when I first went, I wasn't running on the treadmill at all.
No, and now you are.
And now I am.
Yeah,
so
I see you.
That's like it's a little win, but it's like a big win.
That's a big win.
Right?
Yeah. Yes.
But it is funny. I definitely look at the schedule. I'm like, okay, who's teaching today? But everyone has been, like I said, I feel like overall, community-wise, everyone has been absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
You're just my favorite.
Oh, I love that. Well, you're on my face too. Don't tell anyone. This podcast is going to come out. I'm going to be like, just kidding, guys.
Just kidding. Well, we'll cut that.
Yeah.
Like,
you'll save it just for you.
Just like, need a little motivation.
Yeah, literally.
That was like her favorite. In terms of, you know, you probably seen so many people step into their own strength also, like on the opposite side of like just mood, but just stepping into their own strength. And you're witnessing that almost. Are you teaching every day at like different studios?
So I teach 5 days a week at Ditmars. I have Fridays, Saturdays off, but every other day I'm at that studio. Yeah.
Fridays and Saturdays off sound nice.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's hard to get weekends off in fitness, so I'm very lucky that I have a semi weekend. 2 days in a row is a gift, so we'll take it. Yeah.
We'll take it. We'll take it. But in terms of people stepping into their own strength, being able to witness that and see it, whether it's in real time or even overtime, what is that like for you?
Oh my God, it's the coolest thing. Like this is gonna sound so dramatic when I say it, but that is like why I do what I do. It is the greatest joy to see somebody find that, and I wish that like I could bottle that feeling up, and I wouldn't even sell it. I just give it away because we need it. Like I just think that like that again was another reason why I think I was so sure about pivoting from theater into fitness. And I always told people like I loved doing both because theater can have a really great community aspect to it. You can bring people joy, but when you're in the act of it and you're auditioning every day and you're in the business of it, like it feels really selfish. You're like, how I have to make sure I look good, like, and how am I presenting myself? And I loved that fitness was, I could go in and like be myself, but it wasn't about me. It was about all these other people. And that was such a nice balance for such a long time. And that was what kind of started me into being like this. I feel like this is my purpose. Like it really just feels like you give these people the tools to like get better, and you see it's such an interesting kind of shift because when somebody first comes in, especially if they're really new to fitness, they're very attached to you, rightfully so, because they're like, what the heck am I doing? Like help me lift this, like help me turn exactly. But like even with you, like you don't need me as much anymore, and that is the goal. And obviously like I will always be like lift heavier, do this, do that, but like you see people find their confidence. And my biggest thing, I say it all the time on the mic, you're probably like so sick of hearing it, but like you build the confidence in that studio, right? You're like, oh, I can pick up this heavier weight, and you underestimate the fact that like that thought process is with you into anything you do outside of the studio, in terms of like doing taking a challenge, having a hard conversation. Like you just get used to, your brain is a muscle too. You get used to training yourself to do the hard thing and to try a little bit harder and to find confidence on the other side of that. And seeing people do that over time is so inspiring, and it inspires me to like be a better coach and to go into my own workouts. And it really is such a like symbiotic relationship in that way. And I feel really lucky to be able to watch people find that, especially at Ditmars, like starting a community and starting a studio from the ground up. Like a lot of people had never touched a weight before when we opened, and now like I say this sometimes too, I'm like, I get emotional when I see people like doing deadlifts, because I'm like, I literally taught you how to do that, and now you're lifting like so heavy and you're so confident, and you don't even need me to tell you to lift heavy, like you'll just go do it. And that is like the goal always. So
we have our friends Kyle and Alex around the block, and they sing your praises.
Oh my god, they're so sweet.
But like Alex, like she's just like, like she was pregnant. Now she's not anymore. But like when she was pregnant, she was just like, you really took your time to like teaching her like formation and lifting. But even before that, like again, I think anyone that I probably speak to will say that you have like such a vibe.
Oh, thank you.
But like you're also really, really good at what you do.
Thank you so much.
And I think it shows, I feel like, in myself and people that I'm talking to, but even just like looking around the class, like it just
I love that. Thank you. I do think like in terms of what you were saying before, your question about like, did I make a mistake? Like whatever. I don't think I was ever regretting it, but I definitely was very aware. You know, I think I was like 30, 31 when I made the pivot. And I was like, it's not often that like you get this, like you do something totally new in your 30s and it's a new career. So I definitely have had to build my confidence up in terms of being a fitness instructor and being like, no, I know what I'm doing and I know how to tell people, you know what I mean? And so I think that that's definitely been a cool thing to see in my like growth to see in myself over the last 5 years. And Orangetheory in general does have, I mean, I'm sure you know this and you get this from other coaches as well. Like there is a huge emphasis on education, which is why I loved the classes so much, because I didn't know what the heck I was doing with the dumbbell when I started. I was like, I'm a dancer. I've never been to a gym. I don't know what is happening here. And I loved that it is really geared towards teaching people. So I think it's an element of that where like when you're surrounded by that and that's the standard, then it kind of encourages you to just get better and like take that and run with it. So
absolutely. And actually that's one reason why I kept going back, because like I said, not a fitness girly
but now you are.
I'm working
you
on
are
it.
You are
But I think like being there and the care that goes into teaching, and I remember I think I did like the 3G with you when I first like that first trial class, and I was like, I don't know anything about these weights.
It's
like,
so overwhelming the first time.
But then there's the strength training class, and those classes are so good. Because I was just like, okay, now I have a plan to at least let's do that class once a week.
Yes, you have that foundation.
Like, exactly.
Yeah.
And being able to build on it, and now going in and somewhat knowing what to do.
Yes, you do.
Great.
No, I love it, and
it's so really great.
It's so cool to see that. And again, like. That's going into what you were saying about watching people find their strength. Like that's it. Like you're doing it. You know what I mean? Like you are building that confidence. You're like, now I know what I'm doing. And that's like my favorite thing to see. Like it's so amazing. And you're putting in that work. You know what I mean? Like that's incredible.
I'm trying.
You are.
I am home and I'm like, I did it. I did it today.
I got it done.
Which actually, you say two things in class that really has stuck with me. A couple things, but the two that really stands out is one is done and dusted.
Yeah. You know, it's so funny I was at the other story location before I opened Ditmars, and I was like exclusively the early morning crew over there. Shout out to them. I love them all. Yeah. But I said it so much that like when I left to open Ditmars, they got me a mug that said done and dusted on it. Like I literally have it at my house. Yeah. It's so funny.
Amazing.
Yes. I say it a lot.
I love when it's, kind of the 3G classes and like you're going through the different phases, and especially with the treadmill, like done and dusted. Like,
you're like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. I did it. Can move on to the next thing. Or even at the end of class, I'm like, whoa, I actually made it through. Is it actually is it 50 minutes? Or is it 60?
It's anywhere. I mean, it's 60 minutes that you're in there. The templates themselves are anywhere between like 52 and 55.
Right.
ish, but like with transitions and whatever, like, you know.
Gotcha.
Probably.
Okay, no, that makes sense. But like, I will say, I'm like, I did a whole hour.
You did. I mean, you did. That's an hour towards yourself.
Yeah.
Blocking off an hour for yourself is like no easy feat, especially in New York City. So
No,
yeah, it's an hour.
Sure. It's an hour.
It's 60 minutes.
It's also an hour where you're like not looking on your phone. You're not there. Let me see if I can phrase this, but you're not there for the wrong reason.
Yeah, you're there
for the right reasons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're locked into something, and it's like, I think we are so overstimulated now. I think it's very hard to get off of our phones, and like, I feel like there's so much information coming at us that sometimes just like an hour to just leave it in a different room is therapeutic, like in and of itself.
So good.
Yeah.
I always leave it at the front desk because I'm like, okay, guys, I gotta grab it and
Yeah.
But the second phrase they use a lot is finding comfort in discomfort.
Yeah.
And you say like leaning into it because that's where the growth happens. So I kind of want to know, what does that mean to you right now?
Oh, that's a really good question. I love that. Let me think about it. I think that I shouldn't say we, I can't speak for literally everybody, I can speak for myself, but I have had such trouble with change historically in my life. I think that being in theater obviously didn't help with that because there's so much change and you get very used to being unstable. And so I think that there have been a lot of moments in my life in terms of transition, and, you know, I moved from Washington Heights to here. Any challenge that I go through, a half marathon that I run, like, you are just so aware that it's a challenge. And I think I've always been so aware of it that lately, and I think it helps, like I said, when I say it to you guys, I'm like, oh, I should take my own advice, because you don't get to the other side unless you truly go through it. And you can go through kicking and screaming, but like, you're going to get there anyway. And I think like once you embrace it, I think you can cut some suffering out for yourself. And I think you can find a little more power in the fact that you are acknowledging that something's hard and you're choosing to do it anyway. And I think that it takes far less energy to lean into that and remind yourself that like something is going to come of it on the other side than it does to resist it and to fight it and to try to control it. And I feel like I spent a lot of my life doing those things that, you know, you do it enough and you're like, okay, I'm literally exhausted. And so I think that for me lately this year, I think there's been a lot of transitions in my personal life, and even just transitions like from becoming coach to head coach and like moving and all the things. And I think I've felt lately like I kind of look around and I'm like, oh, I can see how far I've come, and I wouldn't have gotten here. But I spent the last 2 years being uncomfortable. And then I sit and I think about it and I'm like, well, what a gift, because now look at where I am. And if I didn't spend that time being uncomfortable, like I wouldn't be somewhere different. And that's what I want. Like I want to grow. I want to keep seeing like what else is out there and how I can push myself. So I think that that's what it means to me. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
No, it totally answers my question. And I'm 100% in agreement with it. It's similar to also, I have to fact check myself on this, but I believe Barbara Corcoran said, failure is your best gift.
It is.
And it really reminds me, it reminds me of your phrase too. Because if you're not comfortable, if you're not failing, then what are we doing?
You're like staying stuck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then everything feels easy.
Yes.
And look, I get it. If it comes easy and you're happy, like, great. Yeah. But I think you do learn so much more from the discomfort. You do. From the failures.
You do. And I think I saw a quote recently. It was literally on Instagram, so I can't quote anybody like smart, but it basically was like, everything's a win when the goal is experienced. So I think when you like detach yourself from the outcome of it and commit a little bit more to the process of being uncomfortable, which is why I think I say it too. Like it is, yes, of course you're going to get stronger on the other side. That's inevitable. You actually don't have to think about it. Yeah. There's more value in being present, like in the journey. Like you're actually going to learn more there than if you just associate and like wake up when you're grown or when you've like gotten to wherever you want to go. So I think it's just something that reminds us to like stay present, because that's really all we have anyway. You know what I mean? So like if you can make it a little more peaceful for yourself or find value in it, I think that that's what I want people to do. Also, it keeps them running. So I'm like, come on. Keeps them from stopping.
Let's go.
So I'm gaslighting you. No, I'm just kidding.
We're getting into
dual meaning.
I swear. No, it's the funniest. It's like when we're on incline, I'm like, why are we at 10 today?
It really is.
I'm like, are
Nothing
you sure?
humbles me like an incline. I totally agree with you. It is so humbling.
I'm like, are you sure there's another side to this?
Are you sure you want me to do this?
Then that's when I will say, and I'll admit it, that's when I start walking a little bit. I'm like,
well, that's when we say take it at your own
Yeah.
pace. But again, to
Yeah.
your point with little wins, like I always tell people too, especially like people who are newer, like maybe one day you like run for 15 more seconds before you walk, and then it's 30, and then, you know what I mean? And then it's the whole minute. Like it doesn't always, to what we were just talking about, like it doesn't always happen overnight. Like that is the journey. That's you like taking small wins along the way and building on them. And that's really what it's about anyway. So yeah.
Wait, I love it. Okay, maybe next time on incline.
Yeah, add like 10 seconds, see what happens.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, so it also sounds, you mentioned, was it Juliet or Julia?
Julia. Yeah.
So you danced with her.
Yes. Yeah, we were in the same show.
And then she got into Orangetheory. I actually think I might have taken her class recently.
Yes, she subbed recently. She subbed for me on a Monday.
Wait, amazing.
Yeah.
And she was great.
Yeah, I love her.
And
her class is amazing.
Same thing with Alex and Kyle. I was telling them
They love her.
Like,
Yeah.
I took a class with Julia. She was great.
She's amazing.
Similar vibes,
Yes.
which is funny.
Yeah, she's my best friend.
And
So we're like this. Yeah.
Now the connection, it's like it's making sense. But would you consider, I guess like kind of leading into my next question in terms of everything that you've learned, not only from life experiences and personal growth, did you have, or would you say like Julia was a mentor on the way?
100%. Yeah. And I think like we tell each other this all the time. Like I have been so inspired by her. She was also a performer. She made these decisions before I made them. And so I think that also had a huge role in me feeling safe enough to do that, because I knew I had support. I knew that my best friend got it. And if I was struggling or if I was kind of unsure, I knew that I had someone I could talk to that knew exactly what I was going through. Yeah. And I give her a ton of credit because she did it first. Like kind of really trailblazed in that way. And I think seeing her do that, and you know, we're similar, but we're different in certain ways too. We're different people, but to watch her kind of step into her power that way was so amazing. And then when I came over from the Manhattan studio to here, like I was at the Astoria studio. She was technically my boss. Like she was the head coach there. And so I learned so much from her. And even now, like being head coach, like she, you know, still runs all of Queens. She runs the other Astoria location, and I'm like texting her. It's like so funny if you go through our text threads. It's like me like talking to her about like, I don't know, like boys and boots and her baby. And then I'm like, wait, but like, how do I order this thing? Or like, what do I do with this member? Like, it's just, she's just so helpful. And I would not be here. I like would never be here without her. I know that. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Is there any as you were getting into why am I blanking on the term? As you were getting into your journey of being a fitness coach, is there any advice that she gave you that you could share with us?
Yes, let me think. She gave me so much advice. She in general is just so supportive of like anyone, but with me and my confidence and just trusting myself. And she has such a great, like she has an inherent confidence that is really inspiring to see. And so she would always say like, you did theater, you can do this. You did this show, you can handle this. Like she gave me really specific advice. She's really good at teaching. She's really good at training coaches. That's something that she does really well. And so I think that I learned a lot from her in terms of like specifics and how to coach a class and how to be in front of people, how to be concise. That's something I struggle with. I'm like a yapper. So she definitely helped me with that, how to simplify things, how to handle people while being firm, but also kind. Like I think I've just learned a lot about both a leadership position and how to be a coach from her. It's just being an example and being able to really feel like I have that trust with her, that I can ask her questions and not feel embarrassed and not feel like I'm stupid for not knowing something. So especially when I was first starting out and I was like, how do I correct this person in this exercise? Like I haven't done this before and I struggled with this. Like I never felt silly asking her that. And she always had really great tips and tricks on how to do that. And that's something I try to pass on to newer coaches now because it was so helpful. So
There was two things that you said. One is kind of helping other members and that feeling of like, oh my God, am I asking a stupid question?
Yeah.
And I will personally say there are times where I'm like, okay, wait, I don't know if I'm holding this weight right or doing this form right. And I do strongly believe there is no stupid questions.
I agree. Yes.
Like, I rather put myself out there. Like, I'm already coming here.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather put myself out there and just be like, okay, I don't understand this. Yeah. Or I don't think I'm doing this wrong. Correct
help me.
it.
Yes.
Like, help me.
Yes.
But there is the second thing. I do believe there is an art in how you teach.
Yeah.
And someone said this to me before. You could be really good at what you do, but teaching it is like a whole
Very
other
different.
level.
Yep.
So I think it's incredible that you were able to at least experience a mentor and a friend.
Yeah.
And have someone along the journey.
Yes. Yeah. I'm very, very lucky. Yeah.
She did good.
Yeah. She's the best. Oh, we love her.
Is there any other advice that maybe not from Julia, but from friends, family, loved ones that you have received along the way?
Let me think. I'm sure there is. I've gotten a lot of really great advice. I feel like our boss Naomi has been very empowering from the beginning, and I think something that's special about Orangetheory in general, but especially our region in Brooklyn and Queens, like they really empower you to be yourself, and I think that it is scary and something that we don't have enough practice doing, like standing in front of a room of people and just like being completely who you are. Like, how freaking hard. Like, and I think that especially coming from theater where a lot of times you are trying to play a character or you're really thinking about how you're portraying yourself, being in an environment that encouraged me to be myself was the best advice that I could have gotten. And that is something that has really really stayed with me. I think about it a lot, and I tell people this too, like there's only one you. You're literally the only one. Like there's no right or wrong way to do it. The world needs you exactly as you are. And so I think any thing or anyone that can remind you of that is a really important kind of pillar to hold on to. And I think I've gotten that advice from people a lot. That's probably the biggest thing that's like changed my coaching and changed how I relate to people. And it is something that I also then try to like instill in people because I feel like everyone kind of needs that.
Yeah.
Let's see, what other advice do I have? For fitness instructing, I think the best advice I got was like, be curious. Because a lot of times, like you said, people don't know what they're doing and they don't know what they don't know. And I think that especially, I mean, you've taken the classes, like they are very fast paced. There's a very like rigid structure to how they run. It's all timed. And I think as coaches, especially as new coaches, it can be stressful to like stay on time and make sure you're doing all the things and whatever. And so just like a reminder that everybody's human, and like before you kind of assume that someone just doesn't know what they're doing or doesn't care to know, like ask them and be like, is this new for you? Or like, did you know that like we're doing this or like whatever? Like I think that's something that obviously helps in class, but I feel like I take that into other things too. I think it makes me way more patient, way less reactive, and way more like communicative because I'm like, what's going on here? Yeah. So those are probably the two big things I would say.
That's something for me to think about, actually.
It's a good lesson.
Yeah.
It's good, especially when you're like, I'm often like, all right, I got things to do. I'm efficient. I got to like do this. I got to do that. We live in New York City. Like we have places to be.
New York of you.
Yes, 100%. So I think, and again, like I think for me too, because if I ever did come across short with someone, I never mean it that way. So it's just being aware that like, that's how someone could take it, and a way to combat that is to be like, did you know that like we weren't doing that? Or like, did you know that like this is how you hold her? Like, have you done this before? And obviously not like, have you done this before? But like, is this new for you? Do you want some help? Like things like that. And a lot of times people do. So that's usually the answer. But yeah, it's a good little nugget for sure.
No, 100%. Something to think about for sure. Okay, so far, are you having fun?
Yes, I'm having so much fun. Am I doing okay?
You are doing amazing.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I feel like I have a million more questions to run through with
you.
But I might just have to have you back on the pod.
Okay.
For like round 2.
I love it. Round 2. Some Q&As.
Little Q&As. Maybe reach out to some that's what we'll do next. Reach out to some Orangetheory members.
Oh my God, I love that.
Have, like some questions for
some
you.
Q&As.
Like,
I love that. I would love that. That would be so fun.
But for now, we'll still do something super fun.
Okay.
We're going to do some rapid fire questions.
All right, I'm ready.
They're my absolute favorite thing. I don't think you overthink on anything.
Yeah, okay.
You're great. So kind of starting off with the first one.
Okay.
Morning or evening workouts?
Morning.
Wait, interesting.
Yeah, I will do an evening, like a workout's a workout. Everyone, like I always say, like the best workout or the best time to work out is when you can do it. So like it doesn't really matter. I like starting my day that way, especially if I know I have a busy day where I'm coaching a lot, where I'm going to be like very social. Like I like having that time. If there is a day where it's just not going to work, I'll do it in the evening, and there's value in that too. But like I'm still in the camp of like, I'd rather get it over with and just like do it. Yeah.
My brain is kind of putting you where, oh, you're working out every day, like 1 hour every hour. And I'm just like, no, T, she coaches.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's why I was just like, wait,
wow.
interesting.
Well, and I
see you
coach
in
at
the
night.
evening.
Exactly. Right. Right.
Okay. Morning girl.
Morning. Yeah.
Favorite song to absolutely crush a class?
Oh my God. Any Beyonce.
Okay.
Beyonce or Bad Bunny will like always do it for me.
Yeah.
The song specifically, My Power by Beyonce has been like on it for me lately.
Amazing.
That's the one. Yeah.
Do you make your own playlist?
I do. It depends. Like we have like stations that will mix them for us. Sometimes like I'll go on SoundCloud and I'll find mixes. And then sometimes I make my own playlists. I just feel like the vibes have to be right, and I gotta control it sometimes.
I like whichever playlist that you have, but I feel like it always feels so New York.
Yeah.
Like you'll have like Walk It Out. Will come on, like,
yeah.
Like,
what's happening? Everyone's like, this is a millennial's dream, and I'm like, I know my audience also. That's what I am. So you're welcome.
It's so good. It's so good. This is a fun one.
Okay.
Because I'm curious. Go to post-workout snack.
Ooh, that's a really good question. I always crave some type of like sugar. So I love fruit and like some type of protein, like a fruit and yogurt situation. I love like the Koya like protein shakes. I'll put in like a coffee. That's like my favorite thing. It tastes like creamer. It's like 12 out of 10. Some type of like blueberries, banana smoothie protein situation.
Delicious.
Yeah,
Very
that's the go-to.
healthy.
Quick. I need like
Quick, easy, healthy.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Exactly. Or like if it's a night workout, like a margarita also does the trick.
You're
Post-workout
so
snack.
funny.
Just like run right to the chips and guac. Like that's balance. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I was going to ask, I was just like, wait, what's your guilty pleasure snack? Like when you're not working out?
Fries. Always. Yeah. I have that ready.
Yeah.
I will never say no to fries.
I think for the longest, when I was younger, the only thing I ate was French fries and ice cream.
Oh my God. Same, honestly.
My mom will confirm. Yeah, 100%.
That's funny.
Okay. One word to describe how you feel after teaching a class. I think you kind of touched on it a little bit.
Yeah. I usually feel like fulfilled, like all the way up, like just so content and like high vibes. Just like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. If people had fun and they like did the thing, then I'm like, we did it. Like, accomplished. Yeah.
Favorite Orangetheory color block. Is it base, push, or all out?
Ooh, that's a really good one. I love an all out. I love to go fast. It's an all out.
Yeah.
It's been an all out from the beginning. Yeah.
I think it's an all out for me too.
Yeah.
Because I like that extra push
Spice,
of just like, okay, like it's all out. This is your last chance to do
You
this
always
for
get
the
to walk
night.
after.
Yeah.
You know it's coming.
I could go home.
Yeah. It's over.
Done and dusted.
Yeah, literally. Exactly. You're like, I know it's coming after, so we'll just like get to it. Yeah.
But I love an all out also. Okay. The move that makes you feel the strongest.
Ooh. Deadlift.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can go your heaviest on that often. And any leg day, like anything that has to do with leg day, I'm like, I love it. I just feel like it's a deadlift for me. I actually said that in class today because we were doing deadlifts. I was like, you guys, this is my favorite one. And they were like, oh, okay. No one cared.
They're like, we're dying.
they're like, we're dying, and you're, I don't care what you have to say right now. Like, I'm tired of you.
We don't want a deadlift.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a really interesting one, and it might actually be not a rapid fire.
Okay.
But what's harder, your own workout or coaching a full class and coming in with the energy?
It's a really good question. They're hard in different ways. I would honestly say, I'm going to say coaching a full class, because if you're doing it right and you're doing it well, it's absolutely exhausting. And I feel like with your own work, with my own workouts, like, yes, they're hard, but like no one's watching what I'm doing other than me. Like, I'm the only one kind of involved in it. So the pressure isn't really always there.
Yeah.
When it's a full class, I'm like, I need to make sure this goes well. I need to make sure everyone's like having fun, doing it right. Like, there's just a lot of moving pieces. That's why I love it. Like, I love a full class. Like, give me like 6 back-to-back full classes. I'm in my glory. Like, I think it's so fun, but it will suck the life out of you. Like, if you're doing it right, you're exhausted at the end for sure, or you need more coffee,
because there's like also so many like components and people,
so many people so much energy, and you're bringing the energy, but also, again, if you're doing it right, like, people are giving that energy back, and it's amazing, but it's draining, and like, you're doing that for 4 in a row, it can be a lot. So I think that's hard.
No, 100%. I love a full class because I'm just like, oh my God, I'm not the only one here. Everyone is like in it,
and it's the community of it for sure. It's the energy. Yeah.
Ooh, speaking of community, if your community, because I don't think Orangetheory has a mascot, but if your community had a mascot, what would it be?
Oh my God, wait, I love that. I have to think about this.
And then we could try to get it.
No, oh my God, I'm dead. Like, are we talking like animal mascot?
It could be anything. It could be a French toast.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like, honestly, from what, like, every time, it would be like some type of cocktail, like a margarita, I don't know, like a glass of wine, something. Because anytime I give any type of like cue that has to do with cocktails, the crowd goes wild. And I'm like, this is how I know you guys are my people. Like, we care about happy hour. So it would be something to do with that, I think. Yeah.
Like a margarita.
A margarita.
Yeah.
Like a stuffed margarita. Or like, we could I'll make like Emmett dress up as a margarita for next Halloween at the
like
front
salt,
desk.
like the whole 9, a little lime.
Tahini on the rim. Like,
That's going to be
it's a margarita.
Like,
my bosses are going to listen to this and be like, what did you say?
Well, I said French toast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, we're both a little.
Yeah, we went left with that. It's okay.
Toast, margaritas. It could be a vibe. Okay, 3 words. This is for the Orangetheory crew at Ditmars. 3 words to describe the crew there.
Vibey, fun, open.
Yeah.
Like, they're just the most open, kind people. Like, I've made good friends from members. Like, obviously, we're sitting here. I have other friends, and like, I've watched other members make friends with each other. Like, everyone is just so like open to getting to know each other, and that's really cool to see.
I was saying check.
Yeah, you agree?
Yeah.
Good.
My first impression in 3 words was we're welcoming. Vibes. Definitely vibes.
And I knew that from like the minute we opened. Like, I was like, this place is a vibe. Like, it was so cool.
It was so cool. And my last one, I would say kind.
Yeah.
Like, everyone is very kind. I've never experienced where it's just like bad energy or anything like that, and I kind of like feed off of like kindness and good vibes and just very positive.
Perpetuates it has more of an impact than negative energy. Like, it spreads further, it leaves more of an effect. Like, I definitely agree with you.
100%. What are 3 words that describes your coaching style?
Ooh, people ask me this a lot too, and I often have trouble answering, but I think I've got it. I think that it's tough but kind.
Yeah.
What's the 3rd word? I feel like I'm like energetic. Like, there's definitely, it's not boring, I hope. I don't know, you tell me.
It's definitely not boring at all. For you, I would say definitely inspiring.
Thank you.
Because you're like go. Inspiring, positive, and energetic.
Yeah.
Also.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Realign.
We're in the
we're aligned. Yeah.
For sure. Lastly, what's one of your favorite motivational quotes?
Feel the fear and do it anyway.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that's the one.
Wait, I'm gonna have to
write it down, put it on a Post-it. Yeah.
That is a good.
Yeah, that's like, really, I have a lot. I'm big on mantras. I'm big on like little things, and I cycle through them. But that is one that throughout my life has always been like the anchor. So that's the one. Yeah.
Wait, love it.
Yeah.
Kind of coming full circle to the end.
Yeah. I'm
which
sad.
I know. I feel like I could talk to you forever.
Oh, me
also.
too.
But to kind of bring it like full circle and wrap it in a nice little bow, for anyone who is listening and they might be afraid to take the leap, whether it's getting into fitness or maybe changing careers or just life is lifing. Needing to make like decisions. I feel like it's tougher and tougher these days actually for a lot of people. But what would be your advice for leaning into the unknown?
This is so funny that this is like my life's work. So I'm going to say this and everyone who knows me is going to be like, yeah, take your own advice because it's something I also struggle with. However, I believe there are no wrong choices and very few choices are permanent. So sometimes I think what trips us up from taking the leap, from making the change, from going to a fitness class, like you feel like the stakes are so high. And if you do this and it's not the right choice, or if you don't do it right, that like your entire world is going to come crumbling down. Like I can name 3 things that are so permanent that would happen, and none of them are fitness changing careers or like doing something a little bit scary. And so I think that going back to what we said before, like there are no failures. I think when you reframe that and you tell yourself, because I do believe it, like there are no wrong choices. I personally believe everything always works out the way that it's supposed to. And so if it doesn't work out the way that you maybe wanted it to, there is always something in there to learn, and that's a gift. Yeah. And when you look at it that way, it does kind of take away the fear. I don't know, an exercise I like to do with myself too is like, if I'm scared about something, I'm like, okay, well, what's the worst that could happen? Like, what is my actual worst case scenario? And when you play it out, you're like, either you're like, okay, well, that's not going to happen. Or you're like, if that does happen, I can handle it. So really just like face the fear. And a lot of times it has more to teach you than you think it does. And it often then means that that's probably something you should be doing. Like if it scares you a little, you should definitely do it.
Oh, 100%. Like that's my number one thing. Like, and I've kind of repeated it for myself this year for my birthday, August 12th.
Oh my God, love it. She's a Leo.
In case anybody needs to know. But I did say it because I felt like in the last like few years, I haven't done anything that has really scared me. And I remember I feel like I'm getting older, but I know, like, I just know myself. And I've always kind of gone after things that scares me.
Yeah.
And it would excite me.
Yeah. And it gets harder when you get older, though, because you have more to lose.
Yes. And I kind of said to myself this year on my birthday, I was just like, oh my God, like, I haven't done anything that feels really scary in a really long time. So for this year, I'm going to do things that scares me.
Good. I love that.
And I feel like right now, like I could say it by the time this episode is out. One of the things was on my actual birthday, I've never rode a city bike.
Okay. Wait, me neither. This is also on my list. I'm so scared.
Wait, you have to do it. You have to do it. So I did it on my birthday with my friend Frankie, and we took her little bike, well, the city bike, the electric bike, nevertheless.
Yeah, it's heavy duty.
It's so,
you dove right in.
Also, it is so heavy, and I was only 2 months in at that point.
Right, and also we're short, so like, come on, that thing's like bigger than we are. It's a lot.
No, I almost like toppled over. But I rode across the Manhattan Bridge.
Wow,
on my birthday.
Girl, you started the year off with a bang.
Let's tell.
Yeah, and here she is. How many times have you ridden a city bike since?
One other time.
You're like, it didn't scare me after that, so I checked it off the list.
I was just like, no, not for me, but like.
Not for me, but I did it.
But I did it.
And now you know. And now you know it's not for you.
Exactly. And then like the second thing was restarting my pod.
I love it. And here we are.
Here we are.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm honored to be part of one of those things.
No, oh my God. I'm so happy that you came on to the pod.
Me too. This was so fun.
I cannot wait to be in another class.
Oh my gosh.
And like to just like keep chatting with you.
Yeah.
And other things.
I know.
Is there anything that you want to leave us with?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think just to your point, like going back to getting into fitness or something new, like I think just don't be afraid to be seen trying. I think that going back to everything that we said today, I think it's kind of a theme, like doing things that scare you it's how you grow. It's how you get more out of your life. It's how you keep from feeling stagnant. And I think it gets harder as we get older. And that's why I love coaching adults and coaching fitness, because we forget somewhere along the way that like we can try new things, and that if like we don't know what we're doing, like that's okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think maybe just everyone pick one thing you can do this week that like you've never done that scares you a little, and see what happens.
Wait.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I'm going to challenge myself to do that too.
Done and dusted.
Yeah. Done and dusted.
Thank you so much for being on the pod.
Yay.
This is amazing.
It was so fun. Thank you for having me.
Oh my God. Anytime.
Yay.
And that's a wrap.
We did it. Oh my gosh. This was so fun. I'm just sweating. Sorry.
So good.
Oh my God. Thank you. You're amazing. Like, you made it so easy.
You're incredible.
Oh my gosh. You're so sweet.
Wait, that was like the funnest part.
No, I had the time of my life. I loved it.